say you got a cylinder, cast iron sleeve, or maybe some kind of a coated cast iron cylinder. You probably wouldn't want to try this with a Nicosil or some kind of real hard brittle chromium coated cylinder, but something that's cast iron or good, heavy duty steel, and potentially something impregnated with, say, silicate carbide industrial diamond. You might be able to get away with this trick. All right, so what's going on here is I have what looks like scoring, striations down my cylinder from the piston. But what is really going on is we have bits of aluminum that peeled off while they were really hot and melty that are bonded to that sleeve. So what we've got to try to do is get that aluminum out of that bore without hurting the bore. Because if I don't have to, I don't want to put a hone on my diamond coated cylinder. Yes, this cylinder is diamond coated. So what we're going to do is use some chemical wizardry and take advantage of the acidic properties of muriatic acid, which etches concrete, but it also dissolves aluminum, but it won't hurt the iron. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use muriatic acid to eat away the aluminum that got smeared onto the cylinder here. And then I can put my Savage back together, play with it for a little while, and sell it. Because I think I want to get rid of a bunch of stuff and change gears and focus on something really, really important. But more on that later. All right, I'm gonna get you some paper towels, and you want something that you're not worried about surface to work on, and your muriatic acid. And I'm already dead, and my body just it won't figure it out for a few more years. So I'm not gonna really put gloves on, but you're probably not already dead. So put gloves on, because this stuff is fucking nasty. All right. Don't take a whole lot. I just take my paper towels and make a nice thick little wad of them and stick it over the cat, flip it over, get it nice and soaked. And what you want to do is remember the outside of this cylinder, the housing is aluminum. So you don't want to get it on that. You just want to wipe it on where you want it to eat away the aluminum down there in the cylinder. Just like so. Just wipe it on. And it is going to make a stink as soon as it starts eating away that aluminum. Immediately, you're going to start smelling sulfur dioxide. It's pretty nasty stuff, so you should probably do this outside. So yeah, anyway, that's it. That's all there is to it. That is the magic, the sorcery of using muriatic acid to just eat away the aluminum if you happen to have overheated a piston and it smeared itself along the inside of the cylinder without having to use a hone. Hopefully, you just do that and do that and do that, several applications, let it do its thing, sit, wipe it down, and then put another coat on there and let it eat that aluminum away, and it should eventually eat down to a nice smooth surface again. And it's like, I don't know, 10,000 maybe, 10, 15 thousandths tops at the peak of what is there material wise. And that's enough to cause a problem with your rings. So, and what caused this issue was the piston got too hot while it was running at basically red line, a little over 100 miles an hour. And it leaned out at that speed, and the piston overheated rapidly, expanded, and then, when aluminum expands and presses up against steel, it's going to give before the steel does. So it melted, and it covered where the rings are inside their grooves, right? So it just basically locked them in to the completely compressed position, so where they couldn't expand to make contact with the cylinder wall like they should and keep the piston floating, center line in the cylinder. So it was basically just flopping and bouncing and skimming back and forth, still running. It still didn't know there was a problem, other than it was smoking and it was loud knocking as hell. But yeah, that's what caused it. So in theory, as long as we can get all of this aluminum out of the cylinder, just popping the new piston in, it's like brand new again. So that's it. That's all you got to do. Many, many, many revolutions of wipe it down with muriatic acid, let it sit for 15 minutes or so, wipe it back out, just, with a dry rag, and then wipe it down again with the muriatic acid, let it do its thing, cycle, cycle, cycle over and over and over again until it's all gone, or as much as you can possibly get. And that should be it. Put it back together after you give it a good cleaning and oiling. Bob's your uncle.